Welcome back to the Kosi channel. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal are advancing in talks to sign Gyökeres in an early summer deal, according to Football Insiders. And FC Barca have made him the top priority to replace Robert Lewandowski. They're willing to let go of a couple of players this summer, including Ferran Torres and a couple of others, in order to sign Gyökeres for 70 million. They have walked away from the Nico Williams deal, and Arsenal have to face Barca again on the Gyökeres deal. It's going to be a showdown, but Arsenal are using the tactics of getting deals done early in order to beat Barca on this one. Hit that button, subscribe to the channel as well. We're going to be running through both articles. The one from Football Insider saying that Arsenal are now looking at Gyökeres as a top priority, their number one option. The Isak deal is kind of sailed on. And then look at that story from Spain that FC Barca also have him as their number one priority, and they're willing to smash about 70 million on the deck for Gyökeres. Who's gonna get him? Let me know in the comment box below. Now, Football Insiders, I mean, it's a credible podcast. They've always produced some good stories. Today, they're saying that Arsenal are advancing in talks to sign Gyökeres in an early summer deal, with the player now the first choice striker target at the club. Negotiations are still taking place behind the scenes to convince Gyökeres and put together a package to secure his signature in this summer. Now, if you look at that story, again, nothing is new apart from the fact that Arsenal are advancing in talks with the player's agent and the player's end and Sporting Lisbon as well. And also, what we didn't know is that Arsenal have now made him their first choice target after Alexander Isak. It has been always Alexander Isak, and I think yesterday we did a story about Alexander Isak and a couple of people inside Arsenal believing that it can still be done. However, this is what I want to say, and I want to be very open with you and very honest. In my opinion, Arsenal are just wasting time on the Alexander Isak front. We're just wasting time on the Alexander Isak deal. Yes, I know we shall push, we shall try, because Mikel Arteta as a manager, he likes the player, and he has said, this is my priority, this is my number one. Go and do whatever you can to get the deal done. But if we are honest with each other, if you're honest as a club, we know Newcastle are not going to give you Alexander Isak if they have plans of qualifying for the Champions League every single year, if they have plans of rivaling Arsenal to win silverware every single year. This year, they've won the Carabao Cup, and if Arsenal don't win the Champions League, maybe Newcastle can arguably say they've had a successful year and season, you know, as compared to Arsenal. I mean, I don't know what you think, but I don't think Isak is going to be an easy deal. Even if it were to happen, it would happen later in the summer. And Mikel Arteta said, I want players to come in early. I want my players to be signed a little bit earlier on, not later in the summer. I want to start pre-season with most of my major signings. And that's why, for me, the Isak deal is kind of very complicated for us at the moment. So Arsenal making Gyökeres our number one priority. That's according to Football Insiders. I am not surprised this has happened. I really expected him to be as high on the list. I really expected him to be among the top targets at the club ever since Andre Bata came out and broke the hierarchy of who we want. I've always expected him to be high up there. So Barca wants him. Now that is the real story now. Barca wants him. They have him as a main priority to replace Robert Lewandowski at the club, and they're willing to smash about 70 million on the deck after selling Ferran Torres and a couple of other players, the likes of Fermin Lopez, that they think are dispensable at the club this summer. Like I said about Gyökeres a week ago, this is a deal that many clubs are going to look at, and they're going to be absolutely all over it. They're going to be 100% all over this deal. It's a very good deal. It's a lucrative deal. It's a bargain of a deal. You know, his numbers, 58 GA, right, goals and assists. For you to get that guy for 60 million euros, about 70 million euros, that is a steal. I mean, think about Šeško. He's nowhere near Gyökeres' numbers. He's about the same price. I think about players like Jonathan David before his contract run down. They were almost at the same price. And the likes of Victor Boniface, the likes of Victor Osimhen, all of them are at that price. 60 million euros to 70 million euros. So Gyökeres, with his numbers, he's an absolute steal to any club, whether it's Arsenal, whether it's Barca. And I expected a good club to come and give Arsenal a real run for our money. So he doesn't want to go to Chelsea. He would pick Arsenal over Chelsea. He would pick Tottenham over he would pick Arsenal over Chelsea. He would pick Arsenal over Tottenham. He would pick Arsenal over Manchester United, right? The question, does he pick Arsenal over FC Barcelona? Now, there are a few things that Arsenal can offer, but I think everything that we've got to offer, apart from Premier League football, everything else that Arsenal can offer to Victor Gyökeres, Barca can offer as well. So let's look at the list of things that both clubs can offer. Arsenal can give him UCL football. I think Barca can offer him that too. Arsenal will offer him the chance to win silverware. Barcelona can give him the chance to do that. If Arsenal win the Champions League, we will give him the chance to join a team of champions. If Barca win the La Liga and the Champions League, they'll give him the same chance as well. So I think it's very, very minimal, the difference between Barcelona and Arsenal in terms of what we can offer to Victor Gyökeres. But here is the difference. Number one, Arsenal have Premier League football. And I think at 27 years of age, he's going to look around and say, if my legacy is going to include having played in the Premier League, I'm sorry, Barca, I am going to go to Arsenal. If really he wants to play in the Premier League. Now, he's a player that has played at Brighton. He's a player that has played in the Championship with Coventry. Maybe, just maybe, he would love to return to England to prove a point and just play in the Premier League. Who doesn't want to play in the Premier League? It would cement his legacy. It would put his legacy among, the real legacies out there. That's number one. Number two, I think it's going to be about the money. Now, Barca can work out 70 million euros. There's no question about that. But Arsenal can also work out 70 million euros as well. The question is this. Can Arsenal pay him 200,000 a week? I think we can. Can Barca really pay him that much as well with all the financial fair play and all the La Liga, financial battles they have? Maybe not, right? So if he's going to go after the money and after who gives him the better deal across 5 years, I think Arsenal will give him the better deal. Arsenal are in position to give any player 200,000 to 300,000 a week, unless as long as you deserve it. So that is where the first difference lies. The second difference is going to be about the project and the stability of the project. I think the Arsenal project right now is better. I'm sorry to say this, but it's better than the Barcelona project. The difference between these two projects is this. I think Barca brought in Hansi Flick, and Flick is a crazy manager. Like he's a miracle worker. He's worked miracles at a team that Xavi failed miserably. And of course, Xavi also did win the Liga with them. But I think the Barcelona team is depending so heavily on Hansi Flick and Lamine Yamal and just a few players. Whereas the Arsenal project is depending so much on the structure of the team, which is we have done a very good job in building a first-class team with first-class talent, and we're just waiting for that one guy to come in, score goals, and we can start winning titles. So I think in terms of the importance, I think it's important for both clubs. Barca will tell him, listen, you're going to replace the mighty Roberto Lewandowski. You want to get that role. Every striker in the world dreams about that role. But apart from that, I think many players out there would love to join this Arsenal project, like Mikel Arteta said. And I have no doubt if Arsenal push enough, we shall get Victor Gyökeres. So Arsenal, the strategy that we're trying to use right now is, can we agree a deal with him a little bit earlier on, so that by the time Barca swoop in, by the time Barca come in, we are so far away. We have done that with Šeško, we have done that with Declan Rice, we've done that with Gabriel Jesus, Alexander Zinchenko. We go in early, we agree personal terms, we give the player our vision of the club. By the time other clubs come to join the race, Arsenal are far ahead. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. In the comment box below, what do you think is going to happen on this one? And speak to you right in the next